a space for honest dialogue, conversations that may not fit traditional formats, but are essential for real growth. We tackle the questions the church often avoids through transparent conversation, trusted experts, and biblical clarity. Off Script delivers godly answers to real-life issues without judgment, fear, or performance, because people don't live in sermons, they live in real life. This is
Off Script.
Yeah.
Off Script.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tony Cash with Off Script. I'm super excited about our show tonight. Listen, we have some amazing guests that I'm going to introduce you to. But I want to start out asking Black America a little question. So don't get upset with me. I'm going to pick at you a little bit. I'm going to pull the string a little bit. But we're going to find some answers and dig into some issues I think are very important to Black America today. So let's talk about this. Let's be honest. We champion freedom, expression, and living life on our own terms. But here's the uncomfortable question. Are we moving too freely in a world that still operates on strategy? From our relationships to our spending, from what we celebrate to what we normalize. Are these choices building us or quietly costing us as a society more than we can afford? Tonight, this isn't about blame. It's about awareness. Because if the game is real, and trust me it is, then how we move in the game really matter. Tonight, I want to introduce you to some very special guests, Rob and Vicki Turner. They are Atlanta's very own celebrities. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. They have their own ministry. They have their own radio station. I'm sorry. Is the station coming next?
I take that as a prophecy.
Their own radio show. They're proud parents, grandparents. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to them. Let them tell you a little bit about who they are and what they do. And then we're going to really get into this subject matter. So, guys, welcome to Off Script with Tony Cash.
Thank you, Pastor Tony. We appreciate being here. I'm going to let my beautiful wife, Saj, first introduce herself.
Well, thank you, Pastor Tony. Tony, we appreciate being with you tonight. I'm Vicki, as you say, Vicki B. Turner, and I wish we did own that radio station.
I'm receiving it. He's a man of God. I receive that as a word.
But for the last year now, we have been host of our program, Let's Talk About It with the Turners, and dealing with relevant issues that are impacting our community.
Yes.
But also, Pastor Tony, we know that there are a lot of pervasive things that are impacting us in a very negative and adverse way. And those things are not to be discounted. They have to be dealt with.
Yes.
But we try to celebrate the good.
Yes.
We try to look for the good, and we try to dwell on the good. And so we've been doing that, and we're having a good time with it. We're in the season of our life where we thought we were retired.
Right.
But somebody came and touched us on the shoulder, and it wasn't the Lord.
I wonder who that was.
It might have been somebody we both know and said we have need of thee.
Right.
And but we have been working in concert with the radio program here in Joyce Littell, and it's been a privilege and an honor.
It's been a blessing, yeah.
But my husband and I have been here in Georgia since 1985.
Yes.
So I'm from Ohio, and he's from Florida, and so I'm still holding on to my Buckeye, and so I call myself a peach eye.
Okay.
And so but we've been here now.
As long as the peach comes first, we good.
Oh, okay.
It kind of sounds better. But the thing is, we think that, and I bring that up because I think we've made a difference in being here. We didn't just move and change our address from a logistical standpoint, but we came. And we brought into the gospel of light that says, be salt and light and be a part of the solution.
Yes.
We know the problems, and we're going to see those every day, but we must, our endeavor, my husband and I, and we raised our 3 adult children to be a part of the solution. What can we do to make the environment better? And so I'll let Rob take it from there.
Well, really, I'm Rob Turner, as you introduced earlier, and really I'm better known as Mr. Vicky Turner, to be truthful with you. But to know I'm excited by being here. Thank you, because we're here for solutions. And that's the thing. You know, on our show, we always talk about, okay, that's the problem. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? So now we're here to talk about what we're going to do about it and how we can, come together and make that happen. You know, as Vicky was saying, I'm from Florida, but I really was born in Macon, so really I'm a peach.
Okay.
I was born a peach.
You were born.
And then I became an orange. Then I
you.
became a Buckeye because I met her in Ohio. And now I'm back to a peach again. All right. So, but other than that, but we're excited about being here, Pastor Tony, and really, and to talk about solutions and directions and to focus on the issues at hand for the next generation. You know, I always tell students, because I go to schools and talk to students, I say, I walk around with a baton in my hand. I'm just waiting to pass it, but I got to make sure you're ready to receive that baton and not slow down the race, but continue the speed of the race, or either speed up in the race.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly need you all's expertise, because I was in a conversation with someone of a different culture, and we have the kind of endearing relationship where we can be rather frank with each other, as long as they don't use that N word. And I told them already, now there's a lot of things we can joke about, but now, bro, if you cross that line,
that's it.
Now
That's
you know, you seen that commercial where they say get a rope. But we were having this conversation, and one of the things that I pulled from it is how other cultures see us. And he wasn't saying other cultures see us as negative. What was interesting is what he thought was a compliment kind of bothered me. And it was, other cultures see us as having a whole lot of freedom. Now you might think, well, that's great, but I'm like, well, he said it just seemed like the African American culture kind of can do what they want to do, say what they want to say, dress how they want to dress, and whatever. And that stuck with me. Because here's why it stuck with me. I'm a part of that culture, and I know the cost of that ideal, that we do what we want to do, how we want to do it, and what we want to do. So what I want to talk about today is, when we say freedom in Black America, are we really talking about a real freedom, or are we talking about just the absence of structure? Is everything culturally accepted actually beneficial, or have we as a people normalized some dysfunctions in the name of expression? And do we as a culture overvalue individuality? And so I'm going to come to the Turners, but here's the first part of this is the Black America's sexual culture. And I want to know, has the Black America sexual freedom, in you all's opinion and what you've seen, strengthened Black America, or has the same freedom we have also caused destabilization in our culture sexually, that freedom?
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question,
Pastor Tony. It really is. I think that I'm reminded, and I failed to mention, my husband and I are both licensed and ordained ministers of the gospel. So I know that we always lean into our faith.
Yes.
Right.
That is the way we are able to show up every day. But I think that I'm reminded of, when you have the liberty to do what you want, whenever you want, any way you want, you need to be conscious of it causing others to stumble.
Exactly.
We are grown folks, and as grown folks, you can do whatever
you can do whatever you want to do.
But if we are really conscious of being a part of a larger community, that expressing our individuality, expressing those liberties are causing others, not just one, because the liberties that you are really suggesting is causing a generation of children to stumble.
And be confused.
And to be confused,
Yes.
exactly. And so I think that we all were raised in a certain way, and I'll have to say this: Rob and I are of a different generation now. You know, we got more behind us than is in front of us.
Yes. Right.
So our perspective comes from a very different level of maturity, I'll say. A perspective. We have become our parents. That's it.
That's
We
a
have
scary
become-
thought, but yes, it is.
We've become
Yes,
our
we
parents.
are.
And so, we raised our children with a sense of modesty.
Yes.
we raised our children with just what we just said to you. Yes, you have the liberty to do such and such, but be careful that your choices don't enslave even you. See, sometimes we don't even realize the choices we make enslave us first,
That's
and
right.
then our larger community. So I think that, but we got to look at the social media platforms are driving what is normal. They redefined what is normal for our children.
Yes.
And our children's children, and now our children have accepted it and express it out. And there's always, I've always felt, and I'm sure we'll get to that at some point, there's a different set of rules that govern us as a people.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
What say ye, buddy?
Well, I totally agree with you. You know, again, everything begins really, the Bible tells us, at home. We put responsibilities on the school, we put responsibilities on society and the internet and all these other things. But really, when you have a basis at home to start from, to build upon, because no building will stand if it has a weak foundation. Right. And if the foundation of your home is built upon the Word of God, strengthened by the Word of God, then as you build your children up, no matter what, as the Word says, when the wind blows and the rain comes and beat against that house will stand because the foundation is still there. So I say that, we need to go back to the basic. I was telling Vicki earlier, we need to go back to not the old time religion, but also that mindset of community where we really are our brother's keeper. And what we do is we are responsible. The things we do make us responsible for the reactions or actions of other people. And we need to be cognizant of that and be responsible to that.
Well, so this next question is loaded. So,
Okay.
And I know you guys, are minister of the gospel. So I'm sure you're going to answer it a little different. Paul says, I have the right to do anything.
Right.
But not everything is beneficial. When you look at the African American culture, and we're not here to say sexual preference, whether it be gay, lesbian, whatever it is the primary thing I want to speak on. But I really want to get to the root of this question. As a people, do we owe consideration for our choices and how they affect our community on a whole before we say, this is what I feel, or this is how I was born? Because, and I'm going to put it like this. If you were on a desert island and you weren't attracted to me, I wasn't attracted to you, we were opposite sex, and we knew the only way to keep society alive is you and I have to procreate, we would look real foolish saying, but I'm not attracted to you, when we know that our behavior will bring life or death.
Exactly.
Do you think that should be some consideration in our community? Because you know what they say, when America catches a cold, Black America catches the flu.
That's true.
And I'm going to give you time. I know you got to make sure you say it the right way, so I understand.
You already prefaced it with how loaded it is.
Yes.
But I do believe this, Pastor Tony. We're not going to solve the world problems today.
Right.
What you bring up is deeper.
Yes.
It's larger than us.
Yes.
We're dealing with. I remember hearing a message many years ago that has always stuck with me. That it was dealing with what is blasphemy.
Right.
Because it's the unforgivable sin.
Right.
So nobody wants to commit it. And the message was that good, this is blasphemy. Good is called evil, and evil is called good. And you cannot rightly divide the difference. Something happened, and it happened in our land, in our culture, many years ago, where we went to sleep one day understanding what we thought was normal, and we woke up and it was no longer normal. Right. And now we went to bed with a sense of morality. We went to bed with a sense of consciousness that we cared about one another, community. Something has shifted. and given what you've already said, we've normalized.
Yes.
And one thing is having raised three children, feelings. I had to realize, as Tina said, what does love have to do with it? What do feelings have to do with anything?
Yes.
Because our feelings are subject to change. Yes. You gave a scenario on the island. Hell,
Yes.
excuse me, your feelings, you go to bed
all right.
one way and you realize, hey, well, that's how I was yesterday.
Look, if I'm not attracted to this dude, we all gonna die.
That's right. Hey, that's right.
So you may make another decision based on what is necessary for the moment.
There you go.
You getting to where I'm trying to go.
But the thing is, I think that raising children, which I believe, in my opinion, is the hardest job God ever gave us.
Yes.
And the only template we have is that Bible.
Yes.
And we have not. You can read everything else you want, buddy, but it's the Bible. And so my thing is going back to that, raising my kids. It wasn't about feelings. I wasn't as interested in their feelings as let's talk more than just feelings, because it's subject to change. And so now you have children waking up in the morning and say, well, I don't feel like the sex that I am in this body. I feel different. Well, it may mean that you may need some counseling, some guidance, but we don't turn children over to make adult decisions when they are children. And that's what is happening in our culture, that children are able to make decisions that they're not equipped to make. And I believe that ultimately the end of it will not be good.
Well, the word says, if you leave a child to himself, he will bring his mother to shame. But not only the mother, but it brings the community to shame. It brings the country to shame.
Yes.
If you leave them to themselves without any kind of direction. Pastor Tony, we're all on a journey. That means that we're going somewhere. And in order to get somewhere, you need directions.
Yes.
You have to establish that. When I get in my car, I know where I'm going, but I still put those directions in to ensure that if there's some roadblocks in the way, I might need to go this way or that way, even though I know exactly where I'm going. So we have to put those directions in place and then follow those directions in order to get there safely, because there's things out there that's going to try to trip you up, stop you, that's not developed for you to go on that path. So it is important for the development, as I go back to the foundation of that word, the establishing this in the home, and then building upon that in the beginning with the home, and then moving forth and showing that in life.
We're going to move to money economic, but I'm going to ask you guys this question. Are we in a time where there needs to be a referendum in the black culture where individual rights, feelings, based on, I deal with the economic of black America all the time, and it's pretty dismal. And you would think the richer the nation got, the richer we would get.
Right.
You would think the wealthier the nation got, our numbers would go up, but the percentage stays the same. Do you guys feel that there needs to be a referendum in black America where we say, hey, there are going to have to be some personal sacrifices in the choices you make for the good of our community, meaning, brother, sister, I understand whatever your choice is, but we need some marriages. We need you handsome young man to take a young lady, be her husband, because not just because we're trying to tell you you're going to hell, but because our community is dying without marriage.
Exactly.
Our community, is suffering because of the actions. Do you think we're at that place where there needs to be that kind of referendum? And I'll be honest with you, I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, in a sense, there is a referendum in the Bible. Even in the beginning, the first relationship that was established in the garden was a marriage, was a relationship between a husband and a wife. So that foundation needs to be expressed. It needs to be shown. That's one of the things that we love about our show, is that we have something called Couples Cafe, where we celebrate black love, where we celebrate a husband and a wife or coming together as a union or a couple, because that's where the strength of it is. That's where society and civilization begins, between a man and a woman. So it's so important that we establish that, whether we need to do it as a law, because we have it as a spiritual law. Yes, I think it does need to be do that, but we also need to show examples of that and highlight that and emphasize that and be that in the community where young people can see that and see that that's something I want, that because they're looking at other things and say, well, I like that way. Show how good marriage is, show how powerful that is, show the strength and the love of that. And then they will want that too, I believe.
Vicky, I just think, and again, you guys have been married. How long have you guys been married?
48.
You can't tell me there haven't been things that have come to you, temptations, desires that would have been wonderful in the moment, but would have destroyed your union. And you had to make a decision whether you would say, well, it would make Vicky feel good or Rob feel good, or you say, but I have a community that's counting on me. I have children that's counting on me. And Vicky, can you talk to us about that mindset and what it takes? Because I really think that aspect of community has been thrown out the window. And I'm telling you, I live it every day. You're going to see a young lady. You're going to see someone who's cute. She might be nice with you. But you have to, come on, Vicky.
You know what? The thing is, and I kind of want to just do a little sidebar on that referendum. You cannot legislate morality.
Right.
You cannot do it.
Right.
You can try all you want. We got a lot of laws out here, Pastor Tony.
Right.
That people are breaking every day.
People break them every day. I used to ask my children at the school, I said, when is it wrong to run a red light? And they used to come up with, when the po-po catch you, it's wrong when you did it.
Right.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. See, if you build children and you build a community that has intrinsic desires to do what is just, right, and pleasing, not just when the law says it,
right,
not just when the popo is here, not just when it's legislated from
That's
Washington, D.C. That's a lot of our problem, I believe, is we're waiting on someone else to bring solution to us that we have right here in our hands.
That's right.
My mother was a ninth grade dropout because her father felt it was more important to have a work ethic, so she picked cotton instead of go to school. My dad only went to 2 years of college. My grandmother, 3rd grade. I was the hope of their future. So they didn't sit me down and read no laws to me. They didn't even read the Bible to me, if I could tell the truth. But what they did is they had a standard of behavior that was acceptable and that which was not acceptable. Rob said it. You lead by example. We are not waiting on the knight in the shining armor to come and bring deliverance. And sometimes as a people, we brought into that our deliverance is in a political party or political ideology. When we forgot that we're fighting against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places.
That's right.
And it don't matter what party affiliation. So what we have to do is get back to when you say the basic things in our home. Lead by example. You want marriages to flourish and to thrive, Pastor Tony? Then get men that don't have 10 children by 10 different women. Right. Get men that come in and say, I'm going to raise my children in the fear and the admonition of the Lord. I'm going to stay here in here. I won't run from my responsibility. I will be here to support their mother. Right. Whatever, I will work. My husband worked 3 jobs. You said, there's other women out there. There's other temptations. We all are faced with temptations every day. But we just drew some lines.
And that's what's
missing. Then
right.
I keep a knife. That's the other thing.
You might want to cut that part from the show. Cut that part.
Rob said cut that part. But Vicky, that's you got to the root of what I'm saying. We're raising, you said it earlier, and I just wanted to poke the bear a little bit. We're raising children without the dynamic of saying, baby, in your life, you're going to have a lot of choices. Son, you're going to have a lot of choices. But if your choice destroys your community, son, you have to sacrifice to think that the world and your community is more important than just what you're feeling. And I think you hit the nail dead on the head. You can't legislate morality, but you can pour it into a child and grow it up in them.
That's right.
And that's what I think is missing.
Yes.
That
exactly.
Listen, you're gonna feel some things, but if that's gonna destroy your community, if your behavior, whatever it is like you said, if having 10 different children by 10 different women, or a woman having 7 children and 7 different men, you have to think about this affects more than me.
That's
so
right.
this next one I want to go to is money economic, which I love to talk about. And the other, so with this, I want to know, can a historically financially disadvantaged people really afford the same luxuries as other cultures? Because one of the things, again, we go back to this is what I want. But what have you all seen, and what's the challenges you're seeing financially in our culture that you think this needs to change?
Well, I believe one thing is that we have a Microsoft mentality, not Microsoft, I'm sorry, a microwave mentality.
Yes.
We want stuff quick and in a hurry. When we get some money, instead of investing it, instead of sitting down and getting a plan and a strategy for it, we want to get the latest this or the latest that, things that are not bringing value, but bringing maybe temporary satisfaction. You know, I read a story once, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, he still lives in the same house that he did. He doesn't wear great clothes. He still drives a 20-year-old car. He eats what is it? A Big Mac. That's right, a Big Mac. Every McDonald's
and breakfast food.
That's right. That's right. But he's worth over $100 billion.
Yes.
Because you know what he does? He's investing. He doesn't look at life as a game of checkers. He look at life as a game of chess. How is this going to affect the next generation? How my investment's going to move and operate and make my life better? That's the mindset we have to have. We have to, first of all, renew our minds. We renew our spirits. Of course, we thank Jesus for that. But the problem with us a lot of times, we need a renewed mind. Because everything begins with the mind, our thoughts. And from our thoughts, our actions are manifest. So once we get a renewed mind on how we can move and strategize on things, that, like you say, how it affects others. It just doesn't affect me and my family. What I do, it affects other people too. How I spend my money, where I spend my money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's important.
You know what, honey, I was thinking when you said that, but look at who's socializing our children. The world is. And the world is designed to make everything look attractive.
Yes.
Absolutely.
To look, make everything desirable. You look at the women, how they display women. So we want that body.
That's right.
We want that look. So I talked to a mother. I tell you, no embellishment, who travels with her daughters, 2 daughters, grown women, to get the Brazilian butt lift out of the country.
It's a big deal now.
To get everything you want lifted. And
except their spirit.
I'm serious.
Exactly.
Nothing but the spirit.
Nothing but the spirit.
Right.
And the body fades. It fades.
Yeah.
It fades.
The thing that attracted Rob most to me, I can't even wear them no more, them hot pants. I
Can't even get a leg in them now. Can't even get one leg in them.
It fades over
There you
time.
go.
But she still got the same legs, though.
She got the same legs. There might be change in the anatomy of her, but she's got the same legs.
Still got the
Same legs.
Don't get Rob in trouble, Pastor Tony. All right, but things do shift over time.
They do. They do.
But my thing is, we're raising a culture of children that are very narcissistic.
Yes. Come on.
Me. I want. And it's sad. It's so sad to me that children would be more enamored with what names do I wear, because they feel like the names bring identity to them. So put names on them, put the latest fashion on them. And then I was looking at something, it disturbed me, as a woman quite affluent. And she took her 4 children to get massages, Pastor. Now, I'm a massage queen. I love them. But I probably didn't discover them until I was an old lady.
Right.
And so that is a regret. I wish I would have discovered it younger. But she took her 4 children. Now, the oldest one was in the 20s, but the baby one was 3rd grade. So you can put that about 9. And the baby got a 2-hour massage. Now, you tell me what a 2-hour massage does for a 9-year-old. Nothing. It's overindulgence.
What you said is overindulgence.
Yes.
Overindulgence. And so you're raising a culture of children that think they're entitled to that way of living. Now, we know we got kids out here. You over here in the neighborhood, you see kids sleeping on the corners. They got signs up, will work, need food. I went to Kroger the other day, woman standing outside with a sign, beautiful woman of another race. And I called her over to the car. Rob was in the store, and I said, why are you out here? I said, why are you out here? And she says, I fell on hard times and I need, why are you begging? She was at an age she could work.
Yes.
Attractive woman.
Yes.
And I said, why are you begging? She said, well, I'm not begging. I will sing. I will sing for you. And then people give me donations. I said, well, then sing for me. Mm-hmm. I did. I said, sing. And she did have a beautiful voice. I said, I'm trying to get back home to my family in Guatemala. That's what she said. I'm trying to get to Guatemala. I said, why don't you go to your church and ask for help? Maybe it's something you can do around there. I said, this is not safe for you.
Right.
It's not safe. And I gave her $1. I think I gave her $1. That's all I could just spare at that time because I don't keep money with me. But my point is, we're waiting with a sense of entitlement that somebody owe us something, Pastor Tony. And I was raised this way. Nobody owe you anything.
And do you guys, first of all, kudos, and I'm with you on that. How do you feel when people say Black America's freedom of financial expression is really a taxation on our future? I heard somebody say that, and I had never really, I knew it, but to hear, they said what Black America doesn't understand is this wonderful freedom of financial expression. I can buy what I want, I can do what I want to do. It's really a taxation on our future. Now, I'll let you all, what do you think about that statement?
Well, I believe it's a taxation on our generations that's coming behind us, because what are we leaving? The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and that's what we're called to do. And I mean, a good name is nice, but you can't take a good name down to Georgia Power. You know what I'm saying? You have to have money. So again, what we need to do, again, it's about strategizing, coming with a plan. See, the thing is, we can become so haphazard, so move so quickly, and we don't have a plan in place. You know, as they say, you know, if you don't plan, if you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail.
That's right.
You know, so again, establishing that. But I don't believe it's just the Black community. I believe it's other communities too that's the problem too. But our responsibility is to our community.
Yes.
And what we need to do is to what you're doing. Get some mentorship. Get some things in place where people know how to handle money, how to spend money, money. I don't love money, but I love what money can do.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we need to know. What can money do?
Yes.
You know, and then we need to put that money in place with our mindsets and some directions and some strategies.
Vicky, before you answer, I'm going to tell you a story and you layer it. So, since we've been here, we've done 2 or 3 financial seminars, workshops, and you can see the algorithm, like who it reaches. And so you know it's getting to about 300 or 400 people. So you can see the algorithm. But it's hard to feel the room. Now, there was a beauty supply store that was giving, the sale was this. You can get everything you could fit in the bag. I think it was for like $30. So whatever you could get in the bag they gave you, you could have it for like $30 or whatever. I'm not exaggerating. The line was so long that they had to get security to take it around the building so that it wasn't out in the street. And I did a video of it because it was like it was just phenomenal to see, like, what's really going on, Vicky. I know you may want to, but I just want to share that because you can't get
Vicky,
us.
Tell about the government cheese thing. The government cheese.
One of my favorite stories. I was raised during the era of government cheese. And what it was a truck that used to bring what they call rations to our community. So the truck had flour, sugar, cheese, butter, milk, things that you could make, cake, whatever, cornbread, whatever, government cheese. And the thing is, it came every month, and the phone would ring and say, the truck is coming. So the community would go out and sit and get in line, and my mother was 5 of us, and so all of us that were able to go and hold, we would stand in the line for different people in the community. For my aunt or my uncle, whoever couldn't get there, you go and get the rations, because the government is feeding us. So we would get it. I would go home, and my parents firmly believed that every house must have a freezer. You had to have a refrigerator
with that
and
too.
a freezer. You could not. I guess you might have even been considered prosperous if you had a freezer.
You had a freezer.
And so we would open that deep freezer, and it was all this butter, and it was all this cheese, and I would wonder, why did we stand in the line if we already got it? And it was just a simple thing, Pastor Tony. It was free.
Yes.
It was free. You got people, you know why you have people going around the corner to get the sale, take advantage of everything they can get in the bag for $30 or whatever? It's immediate gratification.
Yes.
To sit in a session that you're trying to empower people with information.
Yes.
You're trying to stimulate the mind to think down the road, not just in the here and now, but down the road as you have grandchildren and you're thinking down the road for your grandbabies and you're thinking about down the road for your grandbabies. That's not immediate enough. And because it's not immediate enough, they're not willing to be disciplined enough. So it's better to stand out in the hot sun or any weather conditions to get that which costs you nothing.
Vicky, it was. I have no reason. It was so many people.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like if I could have done a political rally with that number of people, you might have thought I was somebody. We've got a question for you guys, and the question is, can you remove your bias for African American people and answer this question? We've been speaking about our society, finance, and wealth for black people a long time. Based on what you've seen, and there not being a change, it looks like they're saying, like, is there really hope, or do we just want to hope because it's our people?
I would not want to live if I had no hope. I couldn't. Every day of my life, every day, not just once a week on Sundays, but every day of my life, I'm reminded when I wake up that hope is within. Not just for African American people, but for our country, for our world. You call it bias or whatever, we are what we are. This is the skin that we were born in.
Exactly.
And of course, we are conditioned about what is right, immediate, and all around us, our people, and the disparities that exist. But I would not, we came here with the goal, not just to this session tonight, but this earth, to leave it better than we found it. That's how we were raised. That hope gives me, it incentivizes me to keep pressing for a better world for my grandbabies, for my great-grandbabies that are yet to be born. So I must believe. Now, is it dismal? Absolutely. Can it be depressing? Absolutely. Overwhelming? The decisions that are coming down the chute that impact our people could be debilitating. But again, my template, Pastor Coney, I can't get away from it, is I go to the rock.
Yes.
I got to go to the rock because it didn't change yesterday. See, yesterday we could go to bed. The law is one thing. When we went to bed, we wake up today, it's a new law because it's ever changing.
Yep.
Things are ever changing. The world is ever changing. Demographics change. Communities change. People change.
Political leaders change.
Exactly. But my hope is that in that which did not change.
Yes.
That which is eternal.
Yes.
And that's what I'm passing on.
Rob, they said, in a world where people no longer accept correction or are willing to be taught, how do we move forward to teach how do we move forward to teach one another when it appears nobody wants to be taught?
Well, I believe this. It's how you approach a person. It's the mindset that you bring when you're speaking to people. Are you coming to bring deliverance? Are you coming to bring an answer? Are you coming to bring strength and whatever that might be? I think we have to come together, as I said earlier, Pastor Tony, that we are our brother's keeper. And in that, we have to go where they are. A lot of times we wait for them to come to us. But that was the thing I love about Jesus. He went to where the people were. He didn't stay in the temple. He didn't stay on the mount or whatever, but he was all over the place. And when he went there, he brought an answer. He brought some solutions. A lot of times we go to these places and situations, or we come to people, we're coming to intensify the problem, not bringing solutions to the problem. And so that's what we have to. We have to be solution oriented. And there is hope. As Vicky's saying, we have to have hope, because if we don't, we are people most miserable, and so we go to them with a mindset of helping, a mindset of answers, because anybody can call in. I think about this example that, and I'm going to give this real quick because I'm a football person. The people, when you go to a football game, the football game is never won in the stands. All the people do in the stands is make noise. That's all they do. It's the people on the field that win the football game. So they're the ones that go to the Super Bowl. Those are the ones that get tackled, and those are the ones that run hard plays or whatever. You got to get in the field where the players are. You got to get out the stands, off the sidelines, and get to where the kids are, and then work with them and talk with them.
Absolutely. Before I close, I want to give you both just a 30 seconds inspirational word, because this was a heavy topic, and I could tell that you guys have a passion for our people. You spoke about all people, but then you always came back to the fact that we have to be there for our people. Mm-hmm. And I'll start with you, Vicky. Just can you give us an inspirational thought about the heaviness of this and that hope you speak of?
I feel the perspective that I come from is, as a believer, that I'm ready to give an answer for that hope. But I'm a mama, Pastor Tony. I'm a nana. So my heart is for the next generation. I know with absolute confidence that if it's over for Rob and I believe we've made our calling and our election sure.
Right.
I believe we'll make it into the kingdom. But my concern is those that we leave behind. And I say to our community, to our mothers, to our fathers, our kids, I say, wake up with a desire.
Yes.
Wake up with a desire to change the trajectory of your life. Wake up with a passion that the world is bigger than what you want. Wake up with a compassion for your brothers and your sisters, that this is not just about you.
Yes.
It's bigger than you, sweetie.
Yes, it's bigger.
This thing is so much bigger. And here you got two seasoned people here. If anybody has earned the right to be on a beach somewhere and coasting it out, it's the Turners.
Yes.
But because we believe in joining ourselves to something that is greater and bigger, we won't leave you out. Mm-hmm. And so we're constantly reaching back as you can. As you are we're reaching back for you, you reach back for someone else and bring them along for the journey. Don't try to run the race alone. It takes a community.
Well, the last thing that Jesus said is to me, one of the most powerful things that he could ever preach. He gave one word. One word. See, we miss it a lot of times. The one word he said before he was transcended up, he said, go. He didn't say stay. He didn't say sit. He didn't say wait. He said go. Go into all the world of these different kingdoms, the education, wherever. Go. And then when he go, then he showed us with Moses, he said, now look, what do you have in your hand? Mm-hmm. I put something in your hand to take when you go. I got answers. I have solutions. I have ways and a plan and a purpose for your life. I have something for you. But you can't do it unless you move forward. You got to keep moving. And as you move, things will change. Doors will open and ways will be made for you. So go. If somebody just asked a few moments, how can we help these kids or whatever? Go to them. Go and bring something. Bring compassion. Bring love. Bring answers. Bring help. Whatever it might be, bring them a destiny and a future. Because you have it in your hands to do so, because you have a love and concern because of the question that you ask. So I'm just excited about what's happening here with Pastor Tony, and this, as we continue to move forth and he continue to do these things, then we are fulfilling the mission. Jesus said, I came to set the captives free.
Yes.
And that's what this is about. Whatever you might be captivating you, there's a freedom for you in the Word of God.
Absolutely. I want to thank the Turners tonight. This has been amazing. I think we could have done this for another hour. This is how powerful
we love this. We love talking about this.
Tonight wasn't about restriction. It was about refinement. Because the truth is, we all have freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. The question is, what are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
I said to you, 1 Corinthians 10:23, Paul says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And that means choice carries weight. Every decision is either building something or slowly breaking something down. But here's the good news. We're not stuck. We're not behind, and we're not incapable. We're influential as a people. We're creative. And when we become intentional as a people, man, nothing can stop us. So maybe the shift is not about losing freedom. Maybe it's about elevating it. Moving from reaction to strategy. From impulse to intention. From just expressing ourselves to positioning ourselves. Because the real win isn't just being free. It's being free and effective. Free and disciplined.
Yes.
Free and moving forward. So as you leave this conversation, don't just ask, can I do it? Start asking, will this build me? And will this build my community? And will this move us forward? And that's how change comes. That's how you change legacy. And this has been Off Script with Tony Cash. And the real conversation starts when the cameras go off. Like, share, and subscribe, because we want to keep bringing this amazing content to you and your family. Because I just believe, like Vicky said, there is hope.
Yes.
And our people will make it.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so
Yes,
much
we
for
will.
joining Off Script with Tony Cash. Make it a great evening.
We hope you enjoyed today's segment. Look at the bottom of your screen to connect with the Leadership Center. While you're there, please consider giving. Your support helps us continue